Hey guys, Sean Darling here, and we're going to be doing some sound design in DaVinci Resolve and with Krotos Studio. Let's check it out. All right, here we are in DaVinci Resolve, and some of you may or may not like this. I'm just doing it for the use of, for making this fast and easy to do for the purposes of this video, but I have some AI video clips here that I'm using. They are not perfect, not absolutely great or anything. I'd rather have shot them myself, but given what they are and what the scenes are, it's a lot easier for time and whatnot for the purposes of this video just to have something to work with. So we're going to use those. Anyway, we're going to be here also in Krotos Studio, and if you don't know what that is, then why'd you click on the video? Now, if you don't know what that is, it's an amazing piece of software, and I'm using the external standalone. Just find it easier to use other than a plugin, which you can do. But I'm using the standalone version of it, and it's great for ambiances and Foley and all kinds of stuff, you know, footsteps, anything you want to use for your sound design. And it can be generated, not AI generated, but generated in here as an instrument that you can bring up. And that's what I mean, to where, let's say we click on these boots here, and you can hear how that's walking around. Let me and you get the idea. So let me put on my headphones here. All right, so what we're going to do is, and for some reason I've got a duplicate mic, I think, going on. But what we're going to do here is just, you see I can just tramp around. You can hear my boots walking and so forth. We're going to be using this in a second, but right now we're going to take one of these clips and we're going to do sound design to it. So let's drag this first one in, and it's kind of an Indiana Jones style clip of a guy, an adventurer, running through some water. And I'll just show you the clip to start with. And it is slow motion, and let's not care about the quality of the video. I could care less about that. I'm not a pro or against AI person. However, I do not think we should be making the full movies with AI. As a tool, great. That's it. Okay, so what we can see here in this clip is that we have a guy running. His feet are running down what looks like a stream here, so we're going to need some splashy footsteps just to start with. But I'm not going to start there. What I'm going to do is kind of create the jungle ambience first. We should always kind of work from that big giant bed of sound and try to work our way up to like the detailed sound and the footsteps and things like that and the actions and whatnot. So what I'm going to do is open up Krotos Studio, which we have here, and I'm going to go back to the beginning, and I'm going to be switching out from my screen to this interface because I have it as the standalone. But I'm going to look up ambiances here, and look at this. We got forest. I want to see if we've got something like jungle maybe, which is, you can already hear it starting to work. If we have a jungle, maybe that is going to be a little more appropriate, specific, but we don't need to find a specific sound if what we come up with works. There's river, that might be more appropriate. There's waterfalls. Let's go ahead and look, and we can also just do a search. So let's just try jungle, see what comes up. We have forest, seaside, calm, London Park, waterfalls. I don't know how crowd comes into that, but let's go ahead and use forest, and I believe that's what we're on right now. There's a stream. We'll turn that one up quite a bit, which you can hear. Birds, wind. Can change this around to hear more or less of what we want. I mean, I think that sounds pretty good. Let's go. There's our more animals. So more stream. Sure, why not? This is all in what's going to be in slow motion anyway. So I'm going to stop this. And we should have this new mode here as of today called render. So what this is going to do is allow us to render this out without having to wait for it for the amount of time specifically that we want. So this is going from, and let's just move it up to the beginning. And this is going to be going from here, which in our timeline is at 1. And we're going to go up to, looks like 5 seconds here. So let's go 5, 0.05. So we're going to go to here. And with render, you can say how long we want that to be. Okay, 0 minutes, my bad. And then we're going to go, so 5, let's just do 6 seconds so we know I have as much as we want. When we click the render button, it's going to create that for us right out. And hopefully this is exactly what we want. And we're just going to take that and drag it right under, and it should be, what we want. And when we listen on the playback, it should be good to go. All right, so let's see here. And we've got that fading in, which I do not like. So I'm not sure why they have that fading. I'm going to check over here and see if there's an option to not fade. I don't believe that there is. So I don't care for this fade-in business. I don't know why they would just automatically have that be the case. So I'm going to go back to perform and start. And you could hear that fade in. So we'll start about here. I hear a cat. I don't think that's part of the thing. And then I'm going to click stop. So now, of course, we can just normally drag this straight into our software here, which is like one of the things about it I love the most. So we'll just cut this off even and see what it sounds like when we're playing it. So that's pretty good. That's just an overall jungle vibe. And I think we could now throw in these footsteps that we want. So we'll go back to Krotos. Let's say I don't know what I want. So I'm going to put, let's see, shoes urban, shoes forest. That's going to, let's go the boots forest to start with. Puddle, leaves, sand, wet mud. So there's 1,000 ways we can do this. There is an AI generator here, and we can just type in what we want and say, let's describe an ambience. Boots, let's say boots running down or through a river. And let's see if it will come up with something that will help us. You can also input an image to kind of help it come up with a prompt for what that image would sound like. So let's go ahead and do generate the instrument. It's not going to generate the sounds. It's going to pull from its library something that basically would be what we're looking for. So that's a lot of river. So let's just go with running steps here. Yeah, that is not what we want at all. That's a lot of river. We're not wanting that. So and these footsteps should be boots. I don't think that I can change it. So I'm going to do this in layers. We're just going to go with boots forest, and then make some footsteps, and probably through the wet mud. And we could lower those. We'll slow those down later, but I just kind of want to see how this looks. That's all good. Let's go ahead, maybe throw a little of the reverb on them. It's a little much, I think. Let's try a reverb only. I mean, that works. And let's just look at our video here and find out how many we need. So what's going to happen here is boom, 2, 3, 4. So let's go with 4 or 5. So we'll do that here. Okay, and we'll stop that. I'm going to drag that recording over here. We can cut those apart and place them where we want now. It's amazing because it would take you a long time to look through a library of exactly what you wanted. So let's just see what we've got. And obviously the timing is wrong. They probably need to be louder as well, but let's see. Let's just start with these. I'm going to take them and just cut them apart. And let's move them around however we need them. So the first one's going to hit right there. We're just going to take it and move it over. Okay, good to go. The next one is going to go right pretty much there. AI is so bad that if you haven't noticed, he's not even really hitting the ground there. I'm not against it. Like I said, it's just never, in my mind, going to be as good as actual filmmaking, no matter what it looks like. If there aren't people involved, I don't consider it filmmaking. Just like art. So let's see. This one's going to hit there pretty much. We'll just move this forward a little more, about like that. Let's find out where the next one lands. Boom. And then this one's going to be here. There we go. And then probably one more. So boom. And then boom. Definitely there. Not a probably. Definitely another one. So about here. Then maybe the last one, which will be kind of there. So we're not even going to be here for that. So it's just for the sake of it being there. So let's just go back here. I'm going to make this whole track a bit louder. I'm going to actually make the hits themselves louder here. Whoops, that's not working on everybody. I don't know why. Let's see. Let's go ahead and consolidate these together. This will make a compound clip, at least, so we can control them all at the same time. And how they sound now. Here we go. Pretty cool. And with that, what else are we needing here? Some clothes sounds. So let's go ahead back into Krotos and find some cloth. Now it's going to be in our Foley. I'm just going to move around until... I mean, there's so much here, you guys. So much stuff here. Let's just look up cloth. So this basic cloth should work. I mean, there's hiking cloth, but I don't know if it has the kind of zip, zip, zip kind of feeling. Let's try this backpack, maybe. I mean, he has a bunch of junk on his belt, so that's not bad. Try the equipment, too. It's a little much. Maybe more into the jeans area of stuff. That's not bad. Let's just try it. So, looking at this, I'm going to try and play this back at the same time. Now, I'm going to be on another screen when I'm doing this. It's just me tapping and moving around like you just saw. But let's just give it a go. Good enough. Not perfect, but you'll get the idea. We're just going to grab that same piece that we just made and stick it under here. We can time it later or however we want to do. Just going to make a new track there for it. And if it doesn't match up, like I said, for the purposes of this video, I'm not horribly disappointed. So let's find out. You know, it's a dude running. What do you want? All right, so we have a little of that. Maybe make it slightly louder. Let's just see. But I'm starting to already believe, that this is a real thing. Now that we have that, maybe I'll throw a little adventure music under it just to hear what it sounds like. All right, I'm just going to close up this a little bit for some room, and let's hear what this sounds like with the music in here. I'd believe that for $1. So let's go ahead and just cut this off. Fade it out. This is just going to be one of our examples here. Let's just go back again and see what we got. Perfect. In this one, we've got a person running down the side of a mountain here. Let's check out what they look like. No sound. There's going to be some wind. There's some boot noise. Some going on from grass and gravel over to a rocky plain or a rocky area. And yeah, maybe some breathing or something. Like they're struggling. We'll see what we can do. All right, so first things first, let's go back into Krotos Studio. And we're going to look for some environment here. Close this out and just kind of look in our ambiences. And first off, try to find something like a remote mountainside. Here's a countryside. Let's see what it sounds like. We do not need a stream or farm animals that I know of. Let's see. Let's just put here in the search. Let's use the AI to do a search, and we'll say a remote mountainside. Pardon the farm animals. Let's say a remote, grassland. Mountainside, whatever that means. Let me just turn off our lovely farm animals here and see what we get here. Let's just click start. There we go. Some forest wind, some gentle breeze. All that feels a little strong, but that's better. Rustling grass. I'm going to pull down the bird calls just a little bit. Alright, so we'll stop this. Let's start it over here. It's going to kind of fade in, so we're going to have to cut that off. We're going to get about 5 or 6 seconds after the fade in. So I'm going to go to about 10. Alright, we'll click stop. Now we can just drag that over to our work here in our track. Let's figure out where this goes. This is obviously going to have a fade we don't want, so let me just pull this down and try to eyeball where this is gonna. I'm going to close my inspector off here as well. Give us a little more room to work. Alright, that looks pretty good. I'm just going to shift this down until it's at the end and go ahead and cut off this beginning and just see how this looks. I think overall that is perfect. I mean, where else could we have found that in a library, especially that fast? That I love. Okay, so let's go ahead back here and get our footsteps again. And I'm going to go open it one more time and look for footsteps, and we're going to go with, I think, boots again, but where are these? Maybe shoes forest? We want boots for sure. So there's Boots Winter, Boots Forest, Boots Urban. I'm thinking Boots Forest again. No water this time though, so we're gonna go with dirt. Maybe something like that. So let's do it again. I don't know how many we needed, so I went ahead and just did an amount. So now I'm going to pull those over and break them up however they need to be. There may or may not be enough of them. We'll find out. All right, so let's go ahead and do it again. And I'm going to do about, I don't know, about 20 steps. So I'm going to try and watch the video at the same time. It's the best way to do this. It being a standalone that I'm using, I do have to put it on my other screen so I can see it at the same time. So here we go. And here we go, right there. Okay, close enough. That's what we say around here. And this is for the purposes of the video, so there's a couple steps that are not perfectly on, but not bad. Not bad at all. Let's go ahead and fix those couple in the beginning. I'm going to also bring them up a little louder since the rest of our sound is a bit louder than maybe we might hear it in an actual film, but yeah, those there are getting a little jumbled, so I'm going to cut these with the greatest of ease. We're just going to snip those apart from each other real quick. Let's see here. See, there should be that third one especially should be a little bit, I don't know, before or after. Let's find out. A little more before. It's a little too much. So I'm going to turn off my snapping. Alright, so we're going to try and see where this hits. So there's one there, which this one is just a little bit late in my opinion. So I'm going to go like here. Then to match the next hit right there, which is pretty good. And then the next hit's going to be there actually. So this one should be actually happening here. I'm just going to have to move a few of these around. And then there's one right here, which will need to happen. Let me just pull this one out until we find one. Something like that. Boom. And then boom. Pretty close. We'll just pull this one back until we get. Okay, so there's going boom, boom, and then boom there. So this one's a little off as well. Okay, so that was there. The one hits here, which is a little bit off as well. And then there's one should hit there. And then there was another one that should hit before this. So let's find out where. Boom, I would say something like this. And then there's another one. So I'm going to go ahead and copy one from the beginning. Let's say this guy. Stick it in there. Boom. Boom. And boom there. Boom. 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 We can't really see the legs, so that's, you know, boom, that seems right. There's one that hits there, though. I guess my timing was off on my playing my keys there a little bit. So then there's one here, which is almost right. And then one here, which is right. And the one there that seems okay. So let's watch that together, all together before, now that we've gotten those worked out. That works for me. Okay, so now some clothing. Once again, this is pretty similar to the last example. So we're going to go ahead and grab our Foley clothing backpack. Which might have been more of what we're looking for. So why don't we do that again? I'm going to get rid of what we just recorded. I'm going to go back into Krotos Studio and use this AI driven, because it's all these little pegs that you can go around on, and the intensity as you move up gets stronger, as you can tell. So I'm going to do a new recording based on our video and see what we get. I'm going to move back a little bit so it overlaps and I can start this on time. So here we go. Let me just... And here I go. All right, and we'll stop there. Drag it in. It may or may not work better, but it just wanted to show you that it's another version of the same thing. I kind of wanted that heaviest part right where they jump, which I think does work for us exactly as it is here. I'm going to go ahead and split this though to kind of intensify the volume of this first part. In case it's not, I can always turn the track down if we need. So yeah, let's check that out. Okay, I'm going to pull that down just a little bit. It's a little strong here. I think overall it's pretty good. I think I'll pull all of it down slightly. Let's go ahead and bring in another piece of music though. So back in our media pool, I'm just going to import that. Let's find that. And we'll just put this at the bottom. And it's amazing. The sound effects make a lot of difference, for sure. But I got to tell you, once you throw music in there, it's like a night and day. Just move some stuff around. Let's see, somewhere maybe about here. We'll just act like we cut into the clip. Absolutely amazing. Cool. All right, that is example 2. So I'm going to use this clip of someone running down a hallway in a space station. If it will let me. I don't know what's going on here. It's not wanting me to do what I'm doing. So let's just use that there. I'm going to put this on track 1. We'll just take a look at what it is. So it's just a person running, sort of sliding badly, and shooting. I just wanted to get something with some footsteps, some atmosphere that's different. The laser gun shooting, you know, maybe whatever these sparky things are going by. Perhaps those are lasers as well. So let's just try and come up with an ambience for this. And I'm just going to put in here in Krotos, space station. And I know that will probably not come up right away. Here's Starship though, amazingly enough. So that is not bad. Let's do it. So I'm going to go ahead and stop this and just start it again. I'm going to go about 20 seconds so I can cut off that initial fade in, which I wish they wouldn't do that. I mean, it's cool that it's there, but I can fade it myself. So, okay, good enough. And we'll grab that and drop it down here to the bottom. Just gonna push this over to a decent spot. Turn on my snapping again. Now we can hear this together. Seems appropriate. Got the starship rumble and whatnot. Let's get some footsteps again for him. Or her, whoever this is. I'm not sure. There's some more backpack that we could throw in as well as the person moves. See, maybe steel impact might be good for these footsteps. I don't know yet. As soon as it comes up. I do like these sounds, however. Let's just use one in the beginning, like, or maybe even this one. We'll bring those in and just drag them over here and figure out what we want to use. I'm thinking it might be kind of cool, though, as an initial sound, like kind of from a movie trailer, where the second we see anything, you know, we've got that happening, whether it's that sound, which is okay, or this probably, what did I do? Larger sound here. Not that it sounds much louder in that particular setup, but you get the idea. Okay, and I'm going to move it to where it hits right on the beat here. Okay. So we need some gunfire. We need whatever this is happening. The firing from something with a billion tiny lasers. And then, of course, this guy's footsteps. So let's go ahead and grab some Foley for probably footsteps. I'm just going to start there. Let's get our just regular old Foley. Go footsteps. Boots indoor might have some nice metal surface. So let's find it. Carpet, tile, wood. Okay, none of those, in my opinion, are correct. Boots, urban extras, perhaps. There's the metal. Let's go ahead and use this. Let's go ahead and grab this from the beginning again. Go back to Krotos Studio. I'm going to move this over so I can watch what I'm doing and stay away from concrete. And just be around the metal grate area. So here we go. And that should do it for us. So I'm going to grab that. We should be able to time that pretty perfect now. Okay, so I've got it running a little early. Let me go ahead and just find where this one goes. Like, boom. This will hit here at least. Let's find out. And I might have moved in the wrong direction. I do that. So first hit is right there on the money. The second hit, and actually that one should be there, my bad. The first one, or this next one, should be, boom, right here. So it's possible I did this backwards, but this one should be here. And then there. It was close. Let's make it closer. And then this one, boom, boom, that works. All right, let's just take a look at this all the way around. I'm going to pull this last bit out. Doesn't need it. We will compound clip this one. Just making that a single piece is the only point of that. And I'm going to go ahead and bring these up. So what happens. Perfect. Okay, if you want to, we could even just take this last one and repeat it right at the end. Whoops. Just right at the end here too. It's where when that cuts off, it's got something left over. We could even continue this out, fade it down to where it doesn't feel so abrupt. Let's see what's going on. There's a little wire that hangs down here, as you can see right here. I wonder if that should have either a swishy sound and or electrical, buzz to it or something. So back in Krotos, let's look for a whoosh. Here's a whoosh. Let's see. It's classic whooshes. This just seems to be something slow, like not that big, a little softer. Maybe something more along that line. So we'll let this clear over and just go. Or okay, I like that last bit. So we'll take it, let's drop it over here for the moment so I can get it on the screen. And let's just see what happens and where also that needs to happen. So right about there, about right. It's not bad, maybe a secondary one as well here. Cool, and we'll take that one and put it after this one to kind of back it up. Let's see what happens. Works for me. All right, and then some shooting. Let's try to find some cool weapons. So I know they have them included now. So let's say weapon and see what comes up. I know it's going to be multiple things. So we have gun handling, which will be things like this. So I think we'll take that and stick it under here since he is, in fact, handling his weapon. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that on a family video. Let's see right here. Perfect. And I mean, it's that easy, guys. Let's go ahead and look for something that's a bit more, that's got to be in there. Let's try that again. All right, perfect. Maybe even a second one of those. I'm totally doing this out of order. This is not very well organized, but just trying to show. And I think if we put just a duplicate of that right here where this might cut off, let's say it had a little name, trailer name. I might even leave in this other sound. Okay, so back here to Krotos, let's find some laser guns, folks. Let's see. There's something weird about that I like. It sounds like the little weird lasers that are flying by. let's do it. Nobody got anything done by not doing it. Well, there's probably a lot of people in our country that have. Let's not talk about that. Okay, let's see what's just going on here. Just pull that forward a little more, maybe bring that up slightly. Not that part, but maybe the first half. Just gonna cut it down and bring it up like so. Let's see what happens. Okay, so let's get some shooting. It's gonna make a lot of difference here. So let's find it now. Toolbox, rummage, laser pistol. Imagine that. Exactly what we might be looking for. I'm gonna do 2 here, so let's try with large space verb. Let's go ahead and go with. Let's use this distance if it'll make a difference. Just want it to sound like it's a little more. So we're going to do a fire and a reload and a fire. So let's go. And then a fire. Well, we'll just take that to start with. See what we can do with it. Pull it down to create another track here. Slide this over and figure out where the firing actually happens. Sorry, I keep kind of screwing up my position here. Let's go ahead and widen my track a little bit to see what I'm doing. Figure out where this happens now. Pow. So right there. So we got a boom right there. Crazy that this is AI video. It ticks me off, but at the same time it's kind of cool you can do things like this. Let's see what happens. I am not hearing the laser over everything else, so we'll find out. I'm going to pull down the other sounds for now. Make sure we get that laser happening. Okay, I think all we've got in that is not the laser. I think all we've got is the reload. So let's try one more time with the fire individually. Okay, we'll take that piece, pull it down in here wherever that needs to happen to start with. So boom is where we want that. So what happens here. So we need 2 of those. So boom. Boom here. I'm just going to duplicate this one. But let's chop the front of it because I don't want this to cut off any of the the reverberation or the trails or anything of the one prior to it. So let's just go from here to here. So we got a third one there too. If we can get a little weirder on the third one, that would be awesome. So let's go back here in Krotos and make it more large or something. It's kind of cool, right? Let's try. This is laser type. Try one more with an intensity. Oh, we don't want it farther. We want it closer. Here we go. I like that last one. Let's try it again. Yeah, let's just use it. Figure out exactly where that needs to happen, which is right there. We're going to chop the front off a little. And there we go. And then there is a second one after that. So we'll duplicate this one more time. Figure out where this needs to go. So there's boom. And boom. See if there's any more shooting. That works. Okay, let's see. We do need one right here as well. So let's go ahead and duplicate this guy over here to save our butts. We will go ahead and spread that one out a little bit, and then works for me. Excellent. Excellent, excellent. So if we were to do like a little title or something on here just for fun, you know, something super quick. I'm not going to spend any actual time doing this, but scrap a title, find something that's, you know, that moves or something on its own. Let's just say, all right, here we go with this. Very simple, from a silly AI video piece to something pretty cool. All right. I want to thank you guys for watching today. There's plenty more cool stuff coming, whether it's Krotos Studio or DaVinci Resolve tutorials, or how to make musical instruments, digital instruments, or do animation in something like Moho or Blender or iClone or something like that. Come back and check stuff out. Make sure you like and subscribe. I'm always here to annoy you. You can count on that. Have a good day.